Wardens, this man is lying to you. He serves an ancient Tevinter Magister who wants to unleash a blight.
That's a very serious accusation. Let's see what the Wardens think. Wardens, hands up. Hands down.
Corypheus has taken their minds.
They did this to themselves. You see, the calling had the Wardens terrified. They looked everywhere for help.
Even Tevinter?
Yes, and since it was my master who put the calling into their little heads, we in the Venatori were prepared. I went to Clarel full of sympathy, and together we came up with a plan. Raise a demon army, march into the deep roads, and kill the old gods before they wake.
Ah, I was wondering when the demon army would show up.
You knew about it, did you? Well then, here you are. Sadly for the Wardens, the binding ritual I taught their mages has a side effect. They are now my master's slaves. This was a test. Once the rest of the Wardens complete the ritual, the army will conquer feitas.
Do you really want to see the world fall to the Blight? What do you get out of this?
The Elder One commands the Blight. He is not commanded by it, like the mindless Darkspawn. The Blight is not unstoppable or uncontrollable. It is simply a tool. As for me, while the Elder One rules from the Golden City, we, the Venatori, will be his god-kings here in the world.
You think you can stand against me with just demons and a Fade Rift? Did Corypheus not mention what I did to the Breach?
He did. He also noted what he did to you at Haven. The Elder One showed me how to deal with you in the event you were foolish enough to interfere again. That mark you bear, the anchor that lets you pass safely through the veil, you stole that from my master. He's been forced to seek other ways to access the Fade. When I bring him your head, his gratitude will be... Ah! Kill them!
They refused to listen to reason.
You were correct. Through their ritual, the mages are slaves to Corypheus.
And the Warden warriors? Of course. Sacrificed in the ritual. What a waste.
The mages killed their fellow Wardens. Nothing can justify that.
I don't care about justification. It's past time to take arms against the Wardens and stop this madness.
The Wardens were wrong, Hawk, but they had their reasons.
All blood mages do. Everyone has a story they tell themselves to justify bad decisions. And it never matters. In the end, you are always alone with your actions.
I believe I know where the Wardens are, Your Worship. Erimond fled in that direction. There's an abandoned Warden fortress that way. adamant.
Good thinking.
The Warden and I will scout out Adamant and confirm that the other Wardens are there. We'll meet you back at Skyhold.
Gladly.
One down.
Help! We serve, Inquisitor! In life and in death! Away with you! Here, Inquisitor! I am ready to serve! Master, I join your glory.
Cole's in trouble.
We should bring in our forces to occupy the castle.
Inquisitor, you're early. We've barely been set up a week. I have a patrol out at the moment. Some of the men cited darkspawn in the area. I have reports that bandits have taken up squatting in the fortress the wardens abandoned. We're reasonably well entrenched here. Keep's water supply has been problematic. It's causing delays. I'll prepare the troops for inspection at once.
Carry on, Captain.
Yes, Inquisitor. Inquisitor.
We haven't met, have we? What's your name, soldier? Where have you served?
I beg your pardon, Inquisitor. Knight Captain Rylan at your service. I served with the Templars in Starkhaven until they all ran off to the hills, barking at the moon. Commander Cullen offered me a job, and I was glad to do anything to help stop all this madness.
What can you tell me about the Darkspawn in the area?
The Darkspawn seem to have emerged since we took the keep. I've warned the troops not to engage unless absolutely necessary. We don't need a blight in the ranks. We have to find whatever hole the monsters came from and seal it.
Report. What's the situation in the Warden's fortress?
Bandits moved in. Worse than quillbacks, if you ask me. They're holed up in there and using it as a base to strike at our supply caravans. Blasted scavengers.
Carry on, Captain.
Yes, Inquisitor. Listen up, recruits.
Just got these in on the last caravan.
This is all rubbish.
Captain wanted this done an hour ago.
the Darkspawn got through. I'll have to see what our people at Skyhold can do. Whoa!
Stefan finally died. It was a blessing, really. He's been in so much pain since Haven. He was out of his mind at the end. He smiled as he smelled his mother's turnip stew. And slipped away.
We can't fight a god.
Hello, Inquisitor.
The Elder
Honored to
Thing is
help
not
with
their
these,
god.
whatever they
He's
are.
darkspawn. They make us do dark.
I tracked that Venatori mage back to the fortress. They look...
Really? You did not notice? I had no idea Lady Beverly was one of your people. You might have told me before I embarrassed myself.
Let's see what we have.
Inquisitor?
Inquisitor.
It's looking good. Not good enough, but good.
Can you arrange what we discussed earlier, Ambassador?
I found the money. The Inquisition will compensate the families of those we lost at Haven.
Thank you. We have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala. The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
Who is this Ambassador Briala?
An ambassador in name only. She has organized the elves of Halam Shiral into an underground army. The Empress invited her to the peace talks in a bid to gain the elves' alliance in the war. That would be scandal enough, without the rumor that Briala is a jilted lover of Celine's. A personal grudge and a network of saboteurs at her command. Promising lead.
You've given me plenty to think about.
With Gaspard and Celine's armies entrenched, we cannot openly march troops to the palace.
My agents will ensure your soldiers get inside. But it must be a few at a time to avoid attention.
Understood. Just give the word, and we'll begin.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
It is a great pleasure to meet you, Inquisitor Lavellen. Bringing the rebel mages into the ranks of your army was a brilliant move. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
I can see many benefits to such an alliance.
Keep the image firmly in mind. We may see it materialize by the end of the evening. I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. My lady, are you prepared to shock the court by walking into the Grand Ball with a hateful usurper? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Duke Gaspard. I look forward to ending this civil war.
As do I, my friend. The Empire needs stability and security, now more than ever. If you have the safety of the Orlesian people at heart, Inquisitor, perhaps you will look into something for me. This elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
Tell me there's more to your suspicion.
That if anyone in this room wishes Celine harm, Inquisitor, it's that elf. She certainly has reason. Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
An elf savage! Oh, make her forbid!
This is Catherine's idea of a joke.
You there! Rabbit! Have you seen a ring anywhere? It was a gift from the Countess Montbelliard, enchanted by the Fomari. I cannot go into the ball without it.
You're not going to find it standing here.
How rude! Can you not spare a moment of pity for a soul in need? Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Is this the ring you were looking for?
You are a enjoy the party.
Is that the Inquisitor?
Is Danish? No, that cannot be. Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I must warn you before you go inside. How you speak to the court is a matter of life and death. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
I'll keep my guard up. Don't worry.
The game is like wicked grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you. You are safer staring down Corypheus.
It might be a good idea for the others to hear this warning. Cassandra is usually not the subtle or cautious type.
I'll have a few discreet words. Everything will be fine. Andraste, watch over us all.
Why are there so many elves here?
The Empress invited them.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lady Inquisitor Lavellen. Vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the Mage Underground.
This guy writes better fiction than I do.
Champion of the Blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Seeker, Cassandra, Allegra, Portia, Calogera, Philomena.
Get on with it.
Pantagast, 14th cousin to the King of Navarra.
Cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor?
Lady Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
I am delighted to be here, Your Majesty.
We have heard much of your exploits, Inquisitor. They have made grand tales for long evenings. How do you find Halam Shiral?
I've never seen anything to equal the Winter Palace.
We hope you will find time to take in some of its beauties. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, lads, how are Mama and Papa? Are they in good health?
Maker, at Weinstein, he's never coming perfectly happy.
Can you believe the Inquisition filled its ranks?
I heard Celine was having the entire wing redecorated. For the timing.
Why would she do such a thing?
Good. I was hoping I would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
That sounds exactly like the person we're looking for.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
The Dowager is upset about the soup.
Laurent was the love of my life. You remember my husband? Killed in a war.
I had hoped to tour the Royal Wing Gardens again.
I have heard they are the finest in the Empire. Such a pity the Reeds.
I still remember the day they came to tell me that my second husband, Philippe... Perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor.
Look at Lady Cambion's slippers. Trimmed with pearls. And emeralds. And those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster.
You're different here than in Skyhold. More approachable, perhaps.
This is Halam Shiral, Inquisitor. This is the Imperial Court. This is the beating heart of the Great Game. Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. I learned this very young. I was still a girl when I attended my first ball. All this, the smiles, the small talk, it is a dance. And like any dance, it can be learned. For some of us, it has become so familiar that the steps may be performed in our sleep.
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always am.
Are you married?
How could the Empress afford to renovate the palace?
Married to the world.
Without wall?
The only one to survive the Temple of Sacred Ashes. We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us all.
Have you heard from your nephew?
Not since his regiment.
You cannot stand about all evening.
Does anyone have a report on the casualty?
Did you just grab my bottom?
My third husband, Pierre, lost his life to Salia.
Galida Tsuris Yavash, eldest daughter.
Does anyone have a report on the casualties in the Dales? Are all the Delancés here?
Maker, I hope not.
I have an idea, Josephine. You should invite all the family to Skyhold for the summer. You'd be bored.
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us all. Maximilian swept me to my feet.
Quickly! We can't leave the Delancés this long without drinks.
Another time, perhaps? Is it true the Inquisitor was handed out of the Fate by Andrasti? Is
Inquisitor?
it true the Inquisitor was handed out of the Fate
Josephine!
by Andrasti?
Oh, Josephine! Is this her?
Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
Delighted to meet you, Lady Montillier.
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me anything. Is it true? Rebel mages in Redcliffe were performing blood rites and orgies before you stopped them.
Where did you hear such nonsense?
Everyone in Antiva says so. Is it true?
Of course not. How do people come up with these ideas?
Oh, how dull Redcliffe must have been then.
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of.
The dancing is so dull, Your Worship, but the Empress's gallery is magnificent.
Yvette.
Sorry, Josie.
Go on, Josephine.
Cafe Royal must be empty. So many of the Empire's finest are in attendance. They've noticed the Empress paying you special attention, but they don't quite know how to take advantage of it yet. This uncertainty won't last long, I'm
This may be my only chance to hear about when Josephine was a girl.
Oh, yes. As she told you about when she was 10 and...
Yvette, stop.
Fine. What about when we were climbing the cliffs by the...
No.
She once told the Duke of...
Absolutely not.
She still plays with her doll collection when no one's looking.
Yvette, that's absurd. Absolutely preposterous.
I'll see you later.
Another time.
Inquisitor?
What is Lady Pentecost wearing? Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Is it true the Inquisitor was handed out on the fate by Andraste?
Does anyone have a report of the casualties the other day?
Inquisitor?
Is it true the
Prince Ezio Valisti of the House of Valisti in Antiva, and third Talon of the
Get these pastries out to the diplomats.
Oh, sweet Gerard. My beef has been interested in the bell tower of the Grand Cathedral. He did not stay. No one knows why he was up there.
of the Comte de Lancey.
Where has that servant gone? Elves, always shirking their duties.
Lord Marcelin, Comte de Travers and his...
Interesting. Interesting.
Get these pastries.
Well, that's useful.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the council.
Did you hear what Gaspard said to Duke Germain? His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that panicked attaché roaming about?
Well, well. What's this?
Get these pastries out to the diplomats.
The Duchess has asked for too many. I can't carry them all.
My lady! My lady Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important.
The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
I'm always honored to hear from Her Majesty.
Oh, she is the honored one, Inquisitor.
Empress Celine is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in her holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
That's a generous offer.
The Empress believes wholeheartedly that the Inquisition is our best hope for peace in these difficult times.
She looks forward to cementing a formal alliance.
As soon as Gaspard is out of the way.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade, Inquisitor.
Where has that servant gone? Elves, always shirking their duties. Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Interesting.
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
Does anyone have a report on the casualties?
I need to get back before I'm missed.
Where has that servant gone? Elves. Always
Did you need something?
What is Lady Pentecost wearing? Lady Knight. Gale makes me nervous. Where has that servant gone? Elves. Always shirking their duty.
Gaspard is wasting it.
Well, well, the Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. How curious.
Another time, my lord.
Yes?
I didn't know the Grand...
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child, Gaspard. Never listened, never did what he was told. He was raised a prince. All his life we told him he would be emperor. It was his destiny, his duty. What else should he do with his life if not fight for his destiny?
Another time, my lord. Boring.
We don't have a reliable report on Haven yet. agents more time.
We are not serving drinks. Bother someone else.
Interesting.
The package is in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one of the garden. Statuette.
Gaspar is wasting his time.
You only say that because you fancy the Empress's pet apostate. It sickens me to think of the chaos those
Where has that servant gone? Elves.
Gaspar is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Heralds now.
He should have considered that before threatening to burn them all in their homes.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspar's vitriol.
I can't imagine Gaspard being vitriolic. What's the matter?
The Grand Duke bears a grudge against the Council for refusing him the crown. He's threatened death if they refuse him again, collectively and individually, along with their vassals. What backwater did you come from? Everyone knows that.
I had no idea.
Inquisitor Llewellyn, don't head into the servants' wing if you've had your neck. Not one elf's gone in there tonight and come out again.
Our man was supposed to make a pickup in the garden hours ago. Bastard's likely dead by now.
So, that wasn't Rusty's herald?
I'd better get back to the party. That's the bell. I should get back to the ballroom.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Gaspar is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Heralds now.
Should have considered that before threatening to burn them all in their homes.
Well, well. What have we here? The leader of the new Inquisition, fabled herald of the faith. Delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
I'm here on important business concerning the entire Empire.
As am I, it seems. I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celine on matters of the arcane. You have been very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace. Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
I don't know, do we?
You are being coy.
I'm being careful.
Not unwise, here of all places. Allow me to speak first, then. Recently I found and killed an unwelcome guest within these very halls. An agent of Tevinter. So I offer you this, Inquisitor. A key found on the Tevinter's body. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet if Celine is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search. You can.
Briala's people are whispering about disappearances in the servants' quarters. This key may lead there.
The ambassador does have eyes and ears everywhere, does she not? Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
This could be worth checking out.
Someone will be held accountable. For this.
Must be the elves Briala's people are looking for. This was no servant. What was he doing here?
Does this guy seem out of place to anyone else?
The crest of the Chalon family. Duke Gaspard will answer for this.
Time to have a word with the Duke.
No! No!
Venatori agents! This approach. They're organized. I need to get back before I'm missed.
Fancy meeting you here. Inquisitor Llewellyn. Slumming in the servants' quarters with the rest of your people, for once. We haven't been properly introduced, have we? I'm Ambassador Briala.
Impressive shot, Ambassador.
Welcome to the Imperial Court, friend. This is our diplomacy at work. You clean this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off the marble. I came down to save or avenge my missing people. But you've beaten me to it. So, the Council of Herald's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
Gaspard killed him, I think. The knife has a Shalom crest on the hilt.
I knew it. I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers. But killing a council emissary? Bringing Tevinter assassins into the palace? Those are desperate acts. Gaspard must be planning to strike tonight.
The Empress needs to know what's going on.
You can try to warn her. She won't believe anything from me. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. You might just be an ally worth having. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
You know how to make a sales pitch, Ambassador. I'll give you that.
I do, don't I? I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part of the peace talks before the night is over. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, it could prove advantageous to us both. Just a thought.
More politics and double-dealing. Is there anyone here who is not corrupt?
Interesting. That would be the second bell. Fashionably late now. Third bell. Crap. Now I'm just plain late.
Inquisitor Lavellan. We met briefly. I am Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon. Welcome to my party.
Why am I not at all surprised that you want to see me now?
This is Orlais, Inquisitor. Nothing happens by accident. I believe tonight you and I are both concerned by the actions of a certain person. Come, dance with me. Spies will not hear us on the dance floor.
Very well. Shall we dance, Your Grace?
I'd be delighted. Have the Dalish gained a sudden passion for politics? What do you know about our civil war?
I assure you, the effects of this war reach far beyond the borders of the Orlesian Empire.
Perhaps it does. I should not be surprised to find the Empire is the center of everyone's world.
It took great effort to arrange tonight's negotiations. Yet one party would use this occasion for blackest treason. The security of the Empire is at stake. Neither one of us wishes to see it fall.
I think I can agree with that, yes.
Then you have lifted a terrible burden from my heart, Inquisitor. The world is filled with doubt and uncertainty. Fear rules more hearts than any empire. I know you arrived here as a guest of my brother Gaspard, and have been everywhere in the palace. You are a curiosity to many, Inquisitor, and a matter of concern to some.
There's no need for concern. I've come here to help Orlais.
Helping Orlais has a variety of meanings depending on whom you ask. Kindness to some is cruelty to others. You cannot be a savior to them all. To some you must be a monster. Do you even yet know who is friend and who is foe? Who in the court can be trusted?
If you can't trust the Empress, who can you trust?
How far will you go, I wonder, for the sake of that allegiance? It cannot have escaped your notice that certain parties are engaged in dangerous machinations tonight.
I have seen a few signs to that effect.
You have little time. The attack will come soon. You must stop Gaspard before he strikes. In the Royal Wing Garden, you will find the captain of my brother's mercenaries. He knows all Gaspard's secrets. I'm sure you can persuade him to be forthcoming. May Andraste guide you, Inquisitor.